Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about the state of altcoins. Remember, if you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. The state of altcoins, I periodically make these videos. It may be going to be less during this period because Bitcoin's below the 20-week moving average. Oh, wow, Bitcoin's at $40,000 now. Impressive. Um, so, uh, but I do like to make these videos to talk about altcoins as a whole. So, when we talk about altcoins, yes, I'm lumping in Ethereum with other projects. We're talking about the entire altcoin space, anything that is not Bitcoin or stablecoins. And one way that we do that here is simply dividing total 2 by the BLX. And this gives us one chart that we can use to our advantage to understand the current strength of the altcoin market. And you could see for the past however many so months, from January to May, we saw an incredible run from altcoins from the bottom to the peak in terms of valuation of Bitcoin. Altcoins rallying 316% in this period. However, ever since week of May 10th, we have been trending, you could say sideways, you could say down. One way to also look at it is flip it to the daily, and you'll see that we have made a lower high, right? This is the all-time peak, not the all-time peak, but the local peak that we made in the valuation of altcoins and Bitcoin. This is the second peak. So you could see that the progression is seemingly going down. And this would make sense. This would fall in line to our theory that as long as Bitcoin's below the 20-week moving average, altcoins are gonna suffer. They're gonna struggle against Bitcoin, and you could see that here. In terms of a support region, we can flip it to the monthly and take a look at what it might look like, and we might see something around 18.24 million and 15, 16 million. This range here, which accounts for some resistance and supports throughout the previous cycle. We haven't had any kind of relationship this cycle. When we came from below, we just rammed straight through it. Like there was no there was no discussion from it. It just cut through it like butter. But it could be different coming back from the other side. We could see some kind of support here. I would imagine that would be the case. But I mean, I'm being flexible here in terms of what altcoins can do in this period. It also entirely depends on Bitcoin. How quickly can Bitcoin get back above the 20-week moving average coincides to how quickly altcoins can bounce back. I got a lot of flax yesterday on my stream saying altcoins are not bleeding, they're not crashing, and I would argue different. Altcoins are currently bleeding against Bitcoin. They simply are. They're being outpaced by Bitcoin now ever since the start of May 15th. If you bought altcoins during, the times to buy altcoins, then obviously you're still up. But in my perspective, I like to be a little bit more active within the market, not necessarily day trading, but definitely trade the swings of Bitcoin dominance. Like that's one of my favorite things to do, trading against their Bitcoin pairings to ultimately increase my Bitcoin value, Bitcoin stack. Now you can flip it and you could do the same kind of strategy by simply and your purposes are to increase your altcoin stacks. You can do that as well. We could see with Ethereum, for example, the valuation has dropped from the peak to where we are now, 23% against Bitcoin. Chainlink is the same thing. We can take a look at it and we could say, hey, look, from the start of May, we have dropped 41.6% against Bitcoin during that period. And so obviously altcoins are being outpaced now by Bitcoin, and they have been doing so for the past month. And that will continue to do so until Bitcoin gets back above the 20-week moving average. Let's take a look at the dominance because this is another chart that we can use, BTC.D. This is another chart we can use to gauge the strength of altcoins against Bitcoin. And you can see that this is whatever percentage the number you're at is how much the Bitcoin market cap takes up in the entire crypto space. as in the entire market cap. So right now it takes about 46.09 percent dominance. So we can see that that we have now a higher low, and from the lowest low that we had come May 10th. Again, this coincides with the total 2 divided by BLX, which shows a lower high. So if we just flip it, it'll look like this somewhat. We are coming in hot. I would say coming in hot, in beating this local peak of about 46.64 or so, from the drop that Bitcoin had on the week of May 17th. So that is essentially what I'm looking at here. Where I'm anticipating Bitcoin dominance to get higher. It I anticipate that Bitcoin is going to take the liquidity from altcoins, whether that's through a pump, like what we're seeing here, Bitcoin up 3% while altcoins are down against Bitcoin, or um, or through a dump, like what we saw on May 17th. Bitcoin dumped like $10,000, altcoins dumped even harder, and therefore Bitcoin takes back the liquidity. And so that's essentially what's happening at this moment. And I feel like it's going to continue to happen until Bitcoin gets back above the 20-week moving average. Until that time, we're going to see instances of altcoins bleeding. Maybe altcoins bounce. And there is going to be a moment in time where we say, hey, look, altcoins are going to come back, like what we saw at the end of May, right? Altcoins, Ethereum rallied 10% one week, and following that, 13%. It really seemed like we are going to we're back in business, but that isn't the case. Um, Bitcoin is still taking up that market share and still outpacing the market as of right now, in terms of the least amount of losses from the peak, or from the when Bitcoin rallies, and then it outpaces altcoins that way. It's a double-edged sword. You're getting screwed both times with altcoins in this situation, because if Bitcoin pumps, altcoins are going to falter, most likely against Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin dumps, depending on how hard it dumps, altcoins usually tend to dump harder than Bitcoin. So you get hit twice, unfortunately, which is why I always say, look, have a good chunk of your portfolio in Bitcoin to mitigate risk. Unless you're a person with a huge risk appetite, I am not one of them, and that is why I like a 50% of my portfolio is now in Bitcoin. Or it has been Bitcoin for quite a while, ever since the end of April or so, beginning of May. Anyway, that is all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.